you watch my desktop?
Yeah, I can see your desktop. Are you fine now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are now the organizer, right?
Yeah, now I'm the organizer.
Okay, all right.
Okay, then for today, I will do one thing. I will just introduce you the SAS. What is
Okay.
your educational background?
Yeah, my name is Austin Chikeze. I got my bachelor's in animal science and technology back in Nigeria, but then I moved down here 3 years ago, and I just finished my master's in biomedical engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay
So
then.
so please how about you? What's your background, if I may know,
Yeah,
please?
my name is Nandhu, and I'm working as a SAS consultant for past 8 years.
Okay.
I have this online teaching experience for more than 5 years.
What did you study in school? Like what type of training do you have, please?
Masters in biochemistry.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then.
You are calling from the US or India?
Right now I am in India.
All right, no problem.
So let me introduce the SAS. As we are trying to learn the SAS, let me introduce the SAS. What is SAS and what it can do and how it will be used in the clinical domain. We will think about all that.
Okay.
SAS stands for Statistical Analysis Systems. SAS stands for Statistical Analysis Systems, and it was first launched in 1976 by Jim Goodnight and his colleagues. They have developed this particular software especially for the R&D domain, for the research and development domain. So whenever we think about research and development, there we used to have very huge amount of data. The researcher has to make a decision regarding that particular data. He has to analyze the data first. So the main reason behind developing the SAS is nothing but doing the analysis. That's why we are calling it as statistical analysis systems. But later they have upgraded the software, especially from the year 1993. As they have upgraded the software, now the SAS is not only meant for doing the analysis. Apart from that, we can proceed with data entry, data management, data presentation, etc., etc. That's why we are abbreviating the SAS as systems and softwares. That's why we are abbreviating the SAS as systems and softwares. Okay. So when we think about the definition, I can say like this. SAS is a powerful fourth generation programming language, and it is a combination of different software products. SAS is a programming language, and apart from that, it is a combination of different software products. So what we can do with the programming language concepts as well as with the software products is we can do data retrieving, data entry, data management, data analysis, data presentation, importing the data, exporting the data, we can say so on. SAS is a programming language, and apart from that, it is a combination of different software products. So what we can do with the programming language concepts as well as with the software products is we can do a variety of works like data retrieving. SAS is faster in data retrieving. Let's say we have a table with 1,000 records. Out of 1,000 records, I want to get only 5 records based on a specific requirement. In that situation, if you go with the SAS, within seconds, it will try to pull only those 5 records out of 1000. SAS is faster in data retrieving. And here we can proceed with data entry. That means here we can create tables. Here we can create tables. In general, the work of SAS programmer or SAS analyst is always to get the data from the external data sources into the SAS environment. So already we used to have existing data. From that existing data, we used to do the work and we used to generate the reports. But apart from that, if you have any requirement to create the table with your own information, do that with data entry. That means here we can create the tables. Okay? And we can manage the information that is present in the tables. We can manage the information that is present in the tables. That means I have a table. To that existing table, I want to add new column. Sometimes I want to delete an existing column from the table. Sometimes I want to add new records to the table. Sometimes I want to delete existing records from the table. Sometimes I want to replace old information with the new information, nothing but replacing or overwriting. Sometimes I want to split a single table into a number of tables. Or sometimes I want to combine number of tables to create a single table. So whatever may be the kind of work that we want to do, we can do all that through the management. And we can do analysis. We can do the analysis. It may be mathematical analysis or it may be statistical analysis. Whatever may be the kind of analysis that you want to perform on the data, we can do that through the analysis. And we can do presentation. Here we can generate tabular reports, detailed reports, summary reports, listings, plots, charts. We have complete control over the report so that we can change the font size, font style, font color, and we can present the reports as a PDF file, RTF file, HTML file, in whatever style you want to have. We can do all that through the presentation. And here we can import as well as export the data. We can import as well as export. SAS will support all the flat files, just like this notepad. It will support DAT file, data file, ASCII file, ANSI file, SIV file. It will support application files like Excel, Access, Lotus, CSV. And it will support even relational databases like Oracle, Teradata, Sybase, SQL Server,
Sorry,
DB2.
sorry, excuse me. Hello?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first of all, like, the presentation, like the material, the study material, am I going to get it after the class?
Yes, I will forward it to you.
But the presentation material, is it just the one on Notepad, like the one I'm seeing? Is it how the presentation material will look like?
No. This is just, I'm just introducing the SAS, that's why I'm just explaining with the
Okay.
notepad according to
Okay,
my
all right.
convenience. But material means it will be PDF files, RTF files.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, continue.
Okay.
Mm.
So we can import as well as export the data. Okay, from different sources and different targets. So we can do all that through the SAS. Not only that, here we have time series studies, forecasting studies, we have market research, we have predictive modeling, data warehousing, etc. SAS is a combination of 33 different tools. SAS is a combination of 33 different tools like SAS, Access, SAS Base, SAS Connect, Report, Graph, ODS, Stat, you can say so on. SAS is a combination of totally 33 different tools. So here each and every tool is present for a specific reason. Each and every tool is present for a specific reason. Suppose if you want to get the external data into the SAS, for that we have a specific tool. Once we got the external data into the SAS, here I want to do some modifications to the data. To modify the data, we have another tool. Once the modifications are over, then I want to analyze the data. For analysis, we have another tool. Once the analysis is over, then I want to send that information to someone as a report. To export the report, we have another tool. Like that, for each and every work, we have a specific tool. Like that, the SAS is a combination of totally 33 different tools. And SAS will support nearly 46 domains. SAS will support nearly 46 domains like sales, finance, banking, marketing. Okay. That means we can work with SAS in different domains. Wherever we have a strong requirement of management, analysis, and presentation, in all those different domains, we can work with SAS. Wherever we have strong requirement of data, management, analysis, and presentation, in all those different domains, we can work with SAS. And when it comes to the features, we have three important features like SAS program. Just 1 second, I got a call. Just 1 second.
No problem.
Yeah, sorry.
No
We
problem.
have SAS program, SAS integration, and SAS analysis. I already told you SAS is a programming language and it's a syntax-based language. It's a syntax-based language. That means SAS was built on rules. So here we will see what are the programming rules that we have for the SAS and what we can do with the programming, what we cannot do with the programming, everything that is related with the programming part. We'll think about all that through the first feature, nothing but SAS programming. And the second feature is nothing but integration. Here we will see how the SAS is used to interact with different operating systems as well as databases. Okay, SAS is platform independent. That means we can work with SAS in Windows, Unix, IBM mainframes, OpenVMS. So whatever may be the operating system where the SAS is working in all those different operating systems. That means SAS will support different operating systems, not only the Windows. And at the same time, it will support all the relational databases like Oracle, Teradata, Sybase, SQL Server, DB2. So here we will see how the SAS is used to interact with different types of databases, and at the same time how it is working with different operating systems. And here we have analysis, third feature. I already told you SAS is a software which is used to do the analysis. So here we will see how the SAS can fulfill the analysis requirement. It may be mathematical analysis, or it may be statistical analysis, or functional or technical, whatever it may be. Okay. And according to the work, we can categorize the SAS into three different layers, like technical layer, functional layer, and techno-functional layer. Okay. We have technical layer, functional layer, and techno-functional layer. Technical means whenever we do something by declaring a program or code, then it is called as technical. We can do everything by developing a program. We can do everything by simply developing a program. But functional means here we will not write any program. Here we just work with Windows or GUI. That means here the work will be dragging and drop. We will not write any program, but we will simply drag and drop. Automatically, the SAS will develop the code and it will generate the result. Okay? And we have techno-functional. Techno-functional means that means it is a combination of technical as well as functional parts. That means we have some part of programming and some part of functional. So this is the general introduction to the SAS. Before we see how this is used in clinical domain, first of all, let me give a brief overview regarding the drug development process. So when we think about the drug development process, at the very beginning, the pharmaceutical industry will do a lot of research in order to identify different chemical compounds. Once it has identified the required chemical compounds, it will apply them on the animals and they will do the research under the laboratory conditions, and we used to call it as preclinical trials, or we can also call it as non-clinical. And if they are succeeded in their research work, then they have to send their information to the Food and Drug Administration, because if they want to start the clinical trials, they must get the permission from the Food and Drug Administration, FDA. So they will send their research information to the FDA as IND. Here IND stands for Investigational New Drug. IND stands for Investigational New Drug. Now the FDA will review the investigational new drug, and if it has given approval, then they will start conducting the clinical trials. Of course, directly the pharmaceutical industry itself will not conduct the clinical trials. Generally, the trials are conducted by the principal investigator, and he will conduct it through the contract research organizations. So when it comes to the clinical trials, we can say clinical trials are nothing but research studies. Research study which is used to develop new drugs or new medical devices or new way of therapy, and sometimes it is also used to upgrade the existing drugs. Here they will conduct the trials by different phases. When it comes to the phase 1, 10 participants are around, and there we used to have healthy volunteers. That means the persons who are not suffering from any diseases. On them, they will do the research and they will perform the research for nearly 1 month, and are mainly concerned about the safety of the subject. Because we are giving a foreign compound to the body, how much safer it is to go with it. Once they are done with the phase 1 study, then there they proceed with the phase 2 studies, okay, where the number of participants are around 200 to 300. And here we used to have target diseased persons as the subject, and they will do the research for nearly 1 year, and they will mainly concentrate on the efficacy, effectiveness of the drug, how much effectivity in reducing the disease. Once they're done with the phase 2 studies, then they will proceed with the phase 3, where the number of participants are around 2,000 to 3,000. And here we used to have target diseased persons as a subject, and they will do the research for few years according to the protocol and according to the complexity of the clinical study. Okay. And here also they will mainly concentrate on the effectiveness of the drug. Okay. Just one second. So once they are done with the phase 3, then they have to again send their information to the FDA as NDA, New Drug Application. Now the FDA will review the new drug application, and if it was satisfied with the research, then they will start. Then they will give approval, and then they will start marketing the drug into them. They will start marketing the particular chemical compound as a drug into the market. And once it has been released into the market, then they proceed with the phase 4, where they think about the long-term effects of the drug, and at the same time they used to compare their product with the remaining products or already existing products, okay, until the drug will get registered. So generally this is the process regarding the drug development. As we noticed here, from one phase to another phase, the number of participants are rapidly increased, and the time period is also too long. So if you want to make a decision regarding this particular information, there we need the help of SAS. Remember that the SAS is mainly used in phase 2 studies, phase 3 studies, and occasionally in phase 4, phase 1, and even in preclinical studies also. Once the trials are initiated, the data will be collected, managed, and maintained by the clinical data management team. Whatever may be the information that they have, it will be called as a raw data. In clinical terminology, we will call it as a legacy data. But it is a non-standard, it is in a non-standard format. That means if you want to submit that information to the FDA, FDA won't accept it because it is not according to the FDA regulations. If the FDA has to accept the data, or if it has to give approval, the data must be according to their guidelines. Okay? The data must be according to their guidelines. So there we need the help of SAS. There the SAS will enter, and here we have a document called CDIS, Clinical Data Interchange Standard Consortium. This is a non-profitable independent organization which has developed several models to explain how the data should be exported to the FDA. So regarding them, the first model is nothing but STTM. STTM stands for study data tabulation model. STTM stands for study data tabulation model. What we used to send as STTM is nothing but data tabulations. Data tabulations. Data tabulations mean, for simple understanding, I can say like this. Whatever may be the data that we got during the clinical study, if you want to send that information to the FDA, then it is called as data tabulation. So how to send that information is according to this particular format. And this is the standard which FDA has approved it. Okay? But remember that these tables are not suitable for doing the analysis on it. So if you want to analyze the data, how to develop the analysis data set? Regarding that, we have another model, nothing but ADAM. ADAM stands for analysis data. ADAM stands for analysis data model. And here we used to have analysis data sets. So once we have created analysis data sets, on that we will do the analysis and we will generate the results. And once we got the results, how to send that information to the FDA? Regarding that, we have one more model, nothing but define.xml. So here we used to have metadata information. That means during our study, how many STTM tables we have, how many add-on tables we have, how many reports we have generated. All that information will be sent to the FDA as a document called define.xml. So this is the work that will be done by the SAS. Let me elaborate it so that you can understand it even more clear. So what the SAS will do is, first we will try to get the external data into the SAS environment. That's what we call as data accessing. Data accessing means getting the external data into the SAS. Remember that data may be in a file or it may be in a database. In SAS we have different techniques how to get the data from a file and how to get the data from a database. So from it we will get the data, and here we will call it as a data set, or we will call it as a domain, or we can call it as a table. Data set is nothing but SAS terminology. Domain is clinical terminology. Table is general terminology. So once we got the data set, then we have to proceed with validation.
I wasn't hearing you earlier. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now. I wasn't hearing you a few minutes ago.
Okay. So validation means we will verify whether the particular
data. Can you go back to data assessing when you said the files the data can be in form of files or database? That's where I got it.
Yeah, data accessing means getting the external data into the SAS. Let us say one contract research organization has performed clinical study and it has developed a lot of data. Now our requirement is to analyze the data and to generate the report. So if you want to analyze it, first of all we have to get that data into the SAS. So the data may be in a file or it may be in a database. In SAS we have different techniques how to get the external data into the SAS. Okay, so using those techniques we will get the data into the SAS, and here we will call it as a data set. Once we got the external data into the SAS, we will call it as a data set, or we can also call it as a domain. Domain is a clinical terminology, or we can simply call it as a table. So once we got the data set, then we have to check in that particular table is everything is valid or not. That means, do we have any errors in it, or do we have any wrong entries? We have to validate it. How we used to do the validation is by the help of a document called SOP. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedures. Okay? Using standard operating procedure, we will verify the data, and during our validation, if anything is unwanted or irrelevant that is present in the data, then we will rectify it. Then we will rectify it by a process called cleansing. Just give me 1 second. So during the validation, if we found anything unwanted, then we will rectify it by a process called cleansing. We will clean the data. We will remove all the unwanted information. And then we will prepare the analysis data set, or we will categorize the data. We will prepare the analysis data set for doing the analysis. That means we are making the data set analysis ready. Okay. So once we have prepared the analysis data set, then we will do the analysis. We will do the analysis according to the SAP. SAP stands for Statistical Analysis Plan. SAP stands for Statistical Analysis Plan. So according to the Statistical Analysis Plan, we will do the analysis and we will proceed with the presentation. It may be tabular report, detailed report, or summary report, whatever it may be. But before sending those reports to the concerned department, we have verification. It means we have to verify whether that particular data is valid or not. So generally, this is the workflow with the SAS. Okay. So first we will get the external data into the SAS as a table. Once we got the table, then we will check whether that data is valid or not, and then we will make the data set ready for analysis, and then we will do the analysis according to the statement. Then we will generate the report. And before sending the report to the concerned department, we will check whether that report is perfect or not. Remember that all this work may not be done by a single person. It will be done by different teams. Some of the team will be there who will do the accessing, validation, and cleansing. Some of the team will be there who will prepare the analysis data sets and do the analysis. And a separate team will be there who will validate or verify the reports.
Okay. So sorry. As a clinical SAS programmer, or like the program I'm doing right now, so what role will I play in these steps?
Programmer means generally data accessing, validation, and cleansing. This work will be done by the programmer, and this work will be done by the analyst. Preparing analysis data sets and doing the analysis will be done by the analyst.
So clinical, like the program I'm doing right now, what I can do is the validation assessing only.
In this training, we will go with whole. That means in
Okay.
this training, we are discussing about programmer as well as SAS clinical programmer and SAS clinical analyst also both.
Okay. All right. But then, like starting up this program, you mentioned first of all like the base program. So obviously we will start with the SAS base, which is kind of the basis before we move into the clinical area, right?
Yes, without basics, you cannot understand anything. This is
Okay.
actually the process.
Okay.
What could be the work of a SAS programmer or SAS analyst? I have
Mm,
explained here. But
okay.
we will begin with the basics. We will go
Mm,
with the base, advanced, and then we will go with the clinical.
okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Um. So yeah, you mentioned that SAS is it has um kind of the first one of the first things you mentioned, like it has different tools. I don't
Yes.
know. Can you mention some of the tools?
Yeah, these are the list of tools. I have given the list here.
Okay. Uh,
Okay, tools means not other tools. These are the tools that belongs to the SAS itself. That means whenever we are trying to write a program internally, okay, these tools will become active and they used to generate the result.
yeah, sorry, sorry. It's not the tools like the softwares like that can be used for SAS. You mentioned that.
Yeah, once we go with the installation, automatically all these tools will come.
Okay, but the software that we can use for like the software is it just one particular one, or do you have different interface that can be used for SAS?
For whatever we are trying to learn, SAS clinical, okay,
Mm,
for that, okay, we have a single environment like this, and
mm.
within the environment only, we used to have these different tools based on the requirement. Okay,
Okay,
whenever we are trying to write a program, internally that concerned tool will become active and it will do the work.
yeah. But like I know there are kind of around three interfaces. So can you tell me a little bit about these interfaces that we have in SAS and the one that we'll be using for this program? Because we have the studio, the enterprise, and the Windows interface.
Those are completely different from this. Okay, enterprise guide means whatever we are trying to do here, okay,
Mm.
we can do the same thing without writing the program.
Okay.
Okay, without writing the program, we can get the data. Without writing the program, we can do the analysis. Without writing the program, we can generate the report. Okay, without
Yeah.
writing anything, if you are doing something, then it is nothing but enterprise guide. But when it comes
Oh,
to the DA studio, data integration studio, those are completely different. Okay, we used to have a separate environment for it. Even for the enterprise guide also, we have a separate environment. Okay, those are
okay.
called as functional SAS, but
Okay.
this is technical SAS.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, then I will stop here. I will just forward the documents to your consultancy. You can have from them. Okay, I will just forward the material, study material to them. Okay, you can have it from them. Okay.
Yeah. So like, are you done for the day?
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh.
I will just introduce the SAS for today. We will start
Mhm.
actual SAS from tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay.
actual start from tomorrow. All right, I I like how you kind of teach, and I appreciate that. But maybe from tomorrow, I know that you are quite experienced. Maybe could make it a little bit interactive, so that maybe we could ask more questions and get
Once
along.
we start the
Well,
programming, you will get to know in whatever way you want to proceed. We can proceed in that way. Okay.
uh,
Actually, this is just an introduction. But once we start the programming, then you will get to know whether you are feeling comfortable or not. You can decide.
No, I'm already feeling comfortable. If not, I will tell you. But thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay then. Okay then. Catch you tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Bye.
Let me get the name again. Sorry.
Yeah. Come again.
Your name, please, again.
My name is Nandhu.
Okay, Nandhu.
Yes. Nandu.
N-A.
NDU.
Okay, N-D-U. Okay, Nandhu. All right. Thanks.
Okay then. Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.